What's up, friends? I received a comment complaining about uh, failing to install xfce on Nixos. I don't have Nixos on the machine that I'm gonna use here, so I'm gonna install it. I have taken the newest one, which is I took it from their website. Download. I guess it's 25.05 as the website tells. I don't think that there is any difference so far in the syntax. I have taken this, I clicked it now, it was about to download, it was a mistake. I have it downloaded already, so I'm gonna go with the installation, which I'm gonna speed up just to make sure that the use case is the same. Please make sure your use case is the same. The installation of xfce that you have seen is not for text-based installation where you prepare your Nix configuration file, and then from it you generate your system. This one is for a newly installed system, which I'm gonna do now. Maybe the difference is in the basically installed desktop environment. At that time it was Mate. This time I'm gonna probably go with GNOME, so follow along. Okay, so here I prepare my virtual machine. I have a command to tell here, which is this one. Later you can change it in your configuration file, and we will see that it's a variable that should definitely be something between true or false. If it's true, it means it allows and free software. If it's false, it doesn't. So you can read the description here where it tells how it affects the system and what are the pieces of software that will be installed and allowed to be installed or not. We click next. Here we have almost everything ready. The installation here is done. I'm gonna reboot the newly created fresh installation of Nixos simply by clicking restart now and then done here. It's something to take there. So our installation is over and we're about to boot. The thing that you need to know is we have two options, which is GNOME, and that's definitely Wayland, and the second one is GNOME on Xorg, which means Xorg itself. So password and enter. I have chosen username as a username because you should choose yours. We open the console. So sudo nano or whichever text editor you would like to use here, etc nixos configuration.nix, password. Okay, so we should make sure here that we add the word that I missed and caused me to fail before. Here we type call package. Make sure that P is uppercase, call all of it, and package is lowercase, except for P it should be uppercase. And then we scroll down to look for our desktop environment data inside of this code. Should be services. We copy this whole thing since it's the same. We just want to have a desktop environment with the desktop manager that's installed. If you have GNOME, it should be GDM, the desktop manager. If it is Mate or xfce, it should be light DM. So here I simply change it with xfce. We can simply change this with light DM if I'm not mistaken. Save this. Y and exit. Nixos rebuild, switch, enter. Here I would like to tell you something, which is sometimes these pieces of code are a little tricky, and sometimes small mistakes and errors or big errors, since they appear for us like that, big errors are caused by small things like a little comma in your code. So here I miss a little comma. Make sure that everything is correct, the syntax is correct. Sometimes you need to close like this bracket, if we can say, I forgot its name, semicolon. You make sure there is the semicolon in place. Like for example, this thing, there is this boot.loader.grab.enable, this property, which is probably a variable or in the form of a variable. When it comes to similar programming languages, it may have a different name. For this one, it should have at the end semicolon, unlike this one which doesn't. The semicolon is at the end. Make sure also you removed no curly braces. This one also, look at the end, make sure everything is fine. Make sure you don't uncomment any of the comments because they aren't similar to the syntax, in case you are building your own Nixos from a configuration file, you aren't installing it the way I did. Make sure you don't uncomment these comments because they aren't matching with the syntax of this programming language. For example, in case you need wireless, you need to enable this property by uncommenting it, since it says here like that and it matches with the syntax. There are things that you need to enable by simply uncommenting the things, and there are things that you need to add yourself. There is something that I need to tell, which is one of the properties that you may need to have here. For example, I don't want to have printing. I can simply comment or delete this thing there or this thing here. Let's see what we... Yes, so this thing allows you to have free packages, proprietary ones, like NVIDIA proprietary drivers, like some of the codecs. You may face errors and problems when you don't enable this one in case you wanted to install NVIDIA drivers. For instance, errors include the restriction from installing it, like the system doesn't allow you since this thing isn't enabled on your system. Yeah, so please make sure such thing is correct. The syntax, we save and exit, and then we run this command again. This time it should run correctly. When you see the error, there is something that you need to know, which is it tells sometimes some indications on the place of the error, and sometimes it tells what exactly the error is. Just like when it comes to something like Rust compilers, it's very accurate sometimes that it tells what exactly the error is, like this thing is missing, this thing should be, for example, integer or stuff. So you need to be aware of such thing. You can for instance install in a virtual machine Nixos with xfce or without it, then compare the configuration files, the one that was made automatically during the graphical installation of Nixos, and the one that you would like to use in order to generate an installation of Nixos. Make sure that there is no mistake in your syntax. Make sure that everything is put correctly. Check the error messages about the place of the error, and then try to generate your Nixos installation from the text-based installation the way it's meant to be. So, I mean, without errors and stuff. Here I'm gonna select xfce session. This thing simply restarted the service. There was a service of GDM. That one I replaced it purposely with LightDM. In case you don't have GDM, I'm gonna go with xfce and type my password. And you can see that it's working. You need to be aware of what's going on. Sometimes you may need to match the configurations examples that are given to you with your use case. For example, all you have to do if you have a desktop manager and the graphical user interface or an auto-generated configuration file for Nixos is to add this line like I did, and then give it the property true and the semicolon at the end. You may need to read the wiki very well in case you are generating an Nixos installation from the text-based method. You need to read very well which one matches with your configuration or your desire, and add it to your configuration file. I guess that's it for this video. If you still face any errors or problems with this, please tell me. Maybe there was a misunderstanding about the configuration and the use case that's done. All I have done was adding this call package. I forgot at in the beginning this comma, and added a line to my configuration file, which is for this one, services.xserver.desktopmanager.xfce.enable equals to true. I didn't need to add any of this. Probably most of it is added or something similar. I changed also GDM, the desktop manager, to LightDM since usually xfce comes with it. xfce or Mate in case you have chosen any of them as the default desktop environment when you are installing Nixos. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share with your friends, and peace.